right, welcome back. Rush Limbaugh speaking truth to power until the staff gets scared here on the EIB network, 800-282-2882. A couple of questions here, ladies and gentlemen. Any of the people who had General Motors and Chrysler dealerships when Obama shut them down, have we heard any stories of any of them coming down with cancer and dying? How many people that owned General Motors and Chrysler dealerships and were shut down by Obama when he bought General Motors for the unions, how many of those people got sick maybe? How many of them lost their health insurance because Obama shut down dealerships, closed them down, and how many of them got cancer? How about all the General Motors and Chrysler workers who were not UAW, who lost their health care and pensions? Did any of them ever get cancer and die after Obama took over General Motors and Chrysler? Did any of the workers at NASA, when Obama shut down the space shuttle program, anybody in the manned space flight division at NASA, any of them gotten cancer since the division was shut down? Any of them been unable to get health care? If any of them died? Any of the Department of Defense workers who have been fired under Obama, have any of them ever gotten cancer? You know what they're saying about Romney's ad on welfare reform? And how Obama took the work requirements out of it? Obama's truth team, and they actually have a truth team, they have just tweeted the following: Romney's welfare message, false, contradictory, and fraught with racial undertones. So Romney's ad on Obama taking the work requirements out of welfare reform is racist. Let's go to the phones. I'll get to Wayne Root here in just a second. Here's Bugsy. Oh, I just
Good morning, Rush.
Bugsy in Chicago. You know, you remind me, one of my all-time favorite movies, a movie Jerry Lewis, The Family Jewels.
Still got mine.
And yeah, not for long in Chicago. And he played a bunch of different characters in that movie, and one of them was a gangster, Bugsy Payton. And I used to be able to do a perfect impersonation of the voice that Jerry Lewis used for the character in that movie. So I look up there and I see Bugsy in Chicago. I did a double take. Anyway, welcome to the program. Good to have you here.
Hey, same here. There's about a 5-step process, I guess, to gracefully losing power. And I think, you know, this guy here, he's our prez is on the way. First, you have to apologize to the other countries, which he's done. You know, then you kind of have to send your manufacturing to them, so it's kind of a goodwill gesture. So you deplete all your manufacturing. Then you got to bankrupt our own country by giving away like entitlements and good old Solyndra and all this other stuff, just blowing through all our money like water and making a good national debt. Give away the military, or just stop the military from increasing or degrade your military.
Hey, don't forget shutting down much of the oil industry and allowing the Chicoms to buy all that oil from Canada instead of us.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's gracefully giving up global power.
Well, then you got to accuse the other party of doing what you just did.
Yeah.
Now they're to blame for all this, like you were just saying with Romney and this poor lady dying because she was sick for who knows how long, so she could have gone to the doctors.
You can't don't
say that. I don't go to the doc either when I feel ill.
You can't say that this woman could have gone to the hospital and all those. Who do you think you are? The memory of this woman is immortalized in this ad. Be very careful, Bugsy. We're here to protect not just me, but you.
You hate to step on the guy.
All right.
But, you know, this guy's on his way, and the people believe what they believe, and as long as you can blame everybody else for the dog poop on your lawn.
Well, you know where I make my mistake? I just figured, I tell you where I make my, and that is not very many mistakes. So when I say where I make my mistake, and I'm an idiot. I foolishly blindly, stupidly, doom-coughedly assume that everybody wants to provide for themselves. How silly. I do. I assume that everybody's trying to forge their way in the world, and everybody's trying to make their mark, and everybody's trying to climb their ladder, and everybody is trying to accomplish something, enjoy success, become the best they can be. I assume that that's what most people are trying to do. That's where I'm wrong. That's where I'm wrong. Because I assume that most people are going to pay for their own car. I assume most people are going to pay for their own food. I assume most people are going to pay for their own house. I'm just dumb in that regard. A lot of people don't think that that's a responsibility of their own anymore. See, I think that everybody's like me. I think that everybody is blessed and understandingly blessed with incomparable freedom that people around the world don't have. And that the road's out there for them as fast as they want to travel, as much as they want to do. And I make the mistake of assuming that that's the vast majority of the people in the country. Well, it used to be. It used to be. I don't know. I hope we're not down to half. I hope there's still more than half that look at life as a triumph of rugged individualism and self-reliance and not selfishness. It's a big difference. Self-reliance and selfishness are two separate things. You know, self-interest is a great thing. It's not selfishness. Anyway, Bugsy, I appreciate the call. This is Samantha from Cincinnati. Welcome to the EIB Network. Hello.
Hi, Rush. Good to talk to you.
Thank you.
Hey, liberals always get the opposite of what they want. Romney was not my first choice. Honestly, he wasn't my fifth. But I got to tell you, this administration and the way they're campaigning has been able to do what the GOP establishment hasn't. These ads and these ridiculous, insulting things that you hear about Romney have reminded me that we have got to get Obama out of there.
Amen.
And we have got to get out the vote, and we have got to slow the bleeding.
You are singing my tune, and we're in the same melody here and in the same key. None of us want to decline, much less gracefully, right?
Exactly.
So I don't know what it took. Maybe this ad, but I'm glad that you've come to the conclusion that you have.
Well, I think most of us are logical creatures, and we'll come to that conclusion on voting day. But it's just it's ridiculous. The leaps of logic that they take are just not there.
Yeah,
and I hope everybody's paying attention.
It's nothing new. They've been accusing Republicans of this. Killing people, wanting to kill people, poison the water, poison the air, E. coli, Ebola, dyspepsia, you name it. We've been in favor of it. We want to destroy businesses. We want to kill people. Imagine the pro-life party wants to poison everybody else, save the babies and poison everybody else. Do I think? Yeah, I guess you might say maybe some people would. Well, let me just ask you. Do you think that there are people who would rather die than pay for their own health care? You don't? You really don't? You don't think there are people who would rather die than pay for their own health care? You don't? Boy, it's a good thing you shut me down when you shut me down. You don't think? You do not think. So I'm being warned not to add another phrase to this. You don't think that some people would rather die than pay for their own health care? Well, this just shows me. This just shows me what I'm really up against here as a host. Apparently, you're asking me. You're telling me you think I believe that there are people who'd rather die than pay for their own health care. Why do you think I'm asking you the question? Why am I raising that? Why am I asking the question? Why am I asking, are there some people who would rather die than pay for their own health care? What's happened today that would make me ask that? We'll be back. Don't go.